Hi guys, this is Krivly again with another product review, and today I do again, and as always, have something very interesting for you. What we're going to have a look at today is a Caran mechanical pencil, the Caran Ecridor in the retro finish. I have gotten this pen sent by Fontoplumo in the Netherlands for the purpose of this review. Thank you very much, my friends. Fontoplumo.nl, please do check them out. They have lots of cool products, among them this mechanical pencil right here. Thanks, as said, for sending this for review. Before we look at this very iconic, I find, design, it's a mechanical pencil that looks like, hey, a pencil, pretty much like a Faber-Castell pencil or so, or a Caran pencil, wood case pencil. For that matter, I think it's a very iconic design. This is a very iconic stationary object. Spoiler alert, I do think every stationery enthusiast should have one of those in his or her collection. But we'll cover the product in a second. Before that, let's look at the packaging. As said, this is the Caran Ecridor in the retro finish. Says PD here because the pen is a metal pen and it is palladium coated, made in Switzerland. The typical Caran box here, red, black as you slide it out, and then pretty unspectacular. There's nothing much inside there. The one thing that I will say, and I say it already right now, the pen costs pencil costs 145 euro. I do think, and I'll talk about the price a little bit later, but I think when you buy a fountain pen that's a bit upmarket, you get a converter or a couple of cartridges or something like that. I think when you buy a mechanical pencil that is upmarket, it would be kind of cool if you would get some pencil lead refills in there. We don't have that here. Doesn't matter. We have an owner's guidebook and international guarantee. You get lifetime warranty, I believe, with the Caran products. And I mean, this is just a little booklet, essentially. It serves as a catalog, warranty card, and refill instructions, and what have you. Now that you have seen this, let's put that stuff right here aside. And first of all, cover the product before we do quite a few size comparisons, just because I think it might be helpful. As said, this is the Caran Ecridor, which is the upmarket or one of the upmarket series that Caran currently carries. There is, of course, also the Le Mans, but then there's also like the lower tiered 849. So this here is one of their upmarket writing instruments that also exists in fountain pens and ballpoint pens and so forth. This here is the mechanical pencil. As said, the finish is the retro finish, which is that kind of pattern that you see right here. There's all kinds of different other patterns available as well. I got the retro finish. As said, design-wise, it looks very much like a pencil, like a normal wood case pencil in its sharpened condition would look like. It is a fairly smallish mechanical pencil. I don't find it too small. It's very comfortable in my hand. And it's also very practical because it's easy to transport. You have a push button up here that says Caran Swiss made. As you also find it on the fountain pen caps. Show you that in a comparison in a second. You can, it has the Caran typical logo up here on top. You can remove this push cap. Under it sits an eraser, which is refillable. Oops. And under that you have this pipe here, which carries the refills. So that's how you refill the pen, or pencil for that matter. You then have a very functional clip here, same clip as on the fountain pen. It's springy, quite tight, but very functional. You can with no problem operate that in a, or use that clip to attach it in your shirt pocket or a pen pouch. You then have the pen body with those flat sides right here. At the back side of the mechanical pencil, there is a part of the pencil body which does have no patterning. That is meant for personalization purposes. That is, if you would like to have an engraving on that. As you can see right here, the silver or the silver color, a palladium coating for that matter, is highly reflective. So yes, it is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. If that is something that disturbs you or puts you off, then maybe this is not the right writing implement for you. To me personally, it's not disturbing whatsoever, so I don't have any problem with that. And then, of course, the pencil tapers down into this typical sharpened wood case pencil kind of look. And you then have in front of it here a small dome that tapers down, which holds a little pipe through which, at the push of the button here, the pencil refill extends. And if you put this pencil refill back, then that small bit of the pipe right here that prevents the tip from breaking as you write with the pencil will retreat back into the pencil body, as you can see right here, which is super nice because that bit right here is actually pretty blunt, meaning that you can just put the pencil in a shirt pocket without stabbing yourself. Not that that little pipe right here would kill you or seriously hurt you, but you never know. As a matter of fact, it's great to know that this retreats into the pencil. Size-wise, this pencil comes in 0.7 millimeters. Some pencils do come in 0.5 millimeters as well, which is particularly useful for technical drawings and so on. The 0.7 millimeters are more commonly used as writing implements because 0.7 is 0.2 millimeters thicker. Hence, it is a lot less prone to breaking when you write with it. But of course, as you can already see on the tip right here, 0.7 is wider, which means that as you write, if you use a softer lead, it will wear down on one side. So every now and then you need to rotate your pencil. Otherwise, you get a little bit of an uneven writing line, but all of that, of course, is personal preference. I quite like writing with that thing, and we'll write with it in a little bit. Before that, allow me to show you a couple of reference pens just so that you get a bit of a better impression of this pencil. As said, it lays pretty comfortable in my hand. It is a metal writing implement, a metal writing instrument. To me, in my hand, it is not slippery whatsoever, but I also don't have a problem with like wettish hands and so forth. I will say that I can't really write at length with writing implements such as the Lamy Studio. Those are too slippery for me, so you have that reference point as well. But this Caran Ecridor Retro right here, I hold very comfortably in my hand, and also the size, the thickness is very, very nice because it's pretty akin to a wood case pencil, so works very fine for me. But now, as promised, some size references. I'll start with its fountain pen, brother or sister, depending on your preference. Put those side by side and you'll see that they are pretty similar in length when the fountain pen is capped. The fountain pen then is like a little bit larger or a little bit longer. When I uncap the fountain pen, you'll see that the fountain pen then is like slightly shorter. I just thought I'll show you those two side by side because, of course, the Ecridor, as said initially, is also available in fountain pens, in ballpoint pens. I'm not sure if they have roller balls as well, but ballpoint pens they have for sure. And then you can always match them with the finish. This is the fountain pen also in the retro finish right here. And they will make a very, very nice pair, a very nice set of writing instruments that you can carry together, that go together very, very well. Of course, you can also then get like one of the other writing instruments in another finish. Then you have a little bit of a contrasting image here, but so you have seen that the clip, as said, is pretty much the same. It is exactly the same. And then you see that the Caran logo right here is the one that you also have on the fountain pen. That logo here on top is the same, but the fountain pen, as you can see right here, is a tad thicker, quite a bit thicker actually. But then when you uncap it, you know, the part where you hold it is, you know, a little bit thinner than this pencil here. Hope that's a helpful comparison for you to get a little bit of a picture. If you're a Caran fan, you might have the classic Caran 849 ballpoint pen, which is pretty much exactly the same size. Of course, less expensive. So if you have one of those laying around, or if you can go to a brick and mortar store, which might not be well sorted enough to carry the Ecridor mechanical pencil, but that has a 849 ballpoint pen, which a lot of shops do carry. You get them at the airport, in stationery shops at the airport quite often, and so on. So this is a very available pen. If this will work in your hand, size-wise, if you're comfortable writing with that and holding that, you'll pretty much be okay with the Caran Ecridor mechanical pencil, because size-wise, they are pretty much the exact same. This is an aluminum pencil, ballpoint pen. This is a palladium-coated full metal pen. This here is substantially heavier. That's a difference, but there you have that. Another size comparison. Here is a regular pencil. Sharpened it a couple of times. Perhaps normally it's that long. So you have that size reference, if that's helpful. Pretty much the diameter. A pencil is a tad thinner than the Ecridor. You saw that. And last but not least, one of my standard size references, which is a Lamy logo ballpoint pen. Also pretty available. That's what it looks like. The Lamy logo is a bit thicker, bit longer, and depending on what finish you get it in, more lightweight. This is a aluminum finish. There's also plastic versions of that. It's thicker, has a wider diameter. That's what that looks like. So these were all my size references. Let's do a little bit of writing with that. I won't go too much in depth here because, of course, the writing experience, little tube or pipe extends. Now the lead comes out because, of course, the writing experience here very much depends on what kind of refills you have in there. You know, you can get them from Pentel, perhaps Caran, you get them from Faber-Castell, you get no names, you get them in HBB, 2B, and you know, all the hard and softnesses. So very much depending, of course, what kind of a refill you have in there, that is what will determine the writing experience. But let's do a little bit of writing here. The Caran Ecridor with the retro finish. Writes very lovely. I do like it. Fantastic. You know, the 0.7 is a great length. You don't have to be overly careful. Just write, scribble, and so on, draw something, right? And you don't have to be very careful that the refill would break or something like that. So works very, very well. I really, really like that the pipe or tube can retract, so I can short pocket the pen, which is how I commonly carry it. And as said, size-wise, it's a great size. The pencil, I always say pen, the pencil is built like a tank. Fantastic quality. I think that will last you a lifetime. There's one little thing that annoys me a little bit and that I want to point out, and I'm not sure if you can hear that. I can't make out what it is. Either it's something inside the pen or it's something to do with the tolerances right here. I can't really figure it out 100%. It's not a deal breaker. It is by no means a functional problem with the pencil. The pencil writes perfectly fine, but sometimes when I take the pen out of my shirt pocket or when I take it out of a pen pouch and I fiddle with it, I do find this to be a little bit irritating. It's very easy to get over it as well, but for a pencil for €145, I would expect this not to be the case. €145 is a upmarket price. It's not outrageous. I mean, yes, you get a Lamy 2000 mechanical pencil for around half the price. Sure, you'll always find something less expensive, but this is positioned as a somewhat more upmarket writing implement than this here. But then you also find Graf von Faber-Castell writing implements that cost more than twice of what this Caran Ecridor here costs. I quickly looked up, if you get like a Pelikan, what are they called, D400 or so, the M400 version of the mechanical pencil, also quite a bit more expensive than this one here. So yeah, right, I mean, here you have like the exclusive woods and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to look up something which is fairly comparable, which is a Pelikan mechanical pencil, which is more expensive than this one here. So having that said, I do think that the €145, they are not inexpensive, but they're also not outrageously expensive. I think they are smack in the middle right there for a writing implement of that class that Caran is and of that build quality, minus the... Now you don't even have it. You see? Who knows what happened? Sometimes it has that, sometimes it doesn't have that. I find it a bit irritating. Other than that, this is a fantastic writing instrument. Thanks once more to fontoplumo.nl for sending me this Caran pencil right here for review. If you found this review helpful and you want the pencil, this is where you could get it. Other than that, I do hope that this review was informative and or helpful to you. I'll see you at the next review. So long, I say ciao, ciao.